My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
All right, today is May 3rd, 2026. It is 7:21 a.m. This is, I think, video number 4. All right, so let's go on X. All right. I have a lot. Okay, so let's go on X. I just went over this. Oh, did I put it twice? All right, this is the next tweet. This is why the deal between the government and Spirit fell apart. I gotta commend them for not bowing down when that was the easiest thing to do. All right, a minute and 43 seconds.
Okay, let's talk about Spirit Airlines and the federal government really quick, because I don't think a lot of people fully understand what happened. They ceased their operations last night. From day one, Spirit Airlines' mission statement was to make affordable and safe commercial travel for the everyday person. The everyday person can afford to get on a plane and go from A to B. You could fly clear across the country for pennies on the dollar compared to other airlines, okay? They ceased operations. The federal government approached them and said, hey, we'll bail you out with $500 million. Which initially sounds like a good deal, right? Cheap, affordable commercial flights for the everyday person. We should have that, period. Okay?
What's the fine print?
The catch was the federal government would own 90% of the company, making them the majority shareholder, okay?
What the hell?
They wanted to take half of their fleet. The federal government wanted to take half of the airplanes owned by Spirit Airlines and convert them into military use for transportation, tracking, what have you. They've done this before. Right now, as we speak overseas, left and right, our planes are getting shot down or attacked and hit to the point where they can't even function. They make emergency landings. They cannot go back up in the air. The United States also does not possess enough rare earth metals or have the money to buy anymore to build more aircraft. Rare earth metals are a major necessity when it comes to modern avionics.
You know what I'm thinking when he's saying that? What they're trying to do to some African countries where they're holding AIDS medicine and things like that, so they could for those countries to give them the right to their natural resources. And I think in Haiti, they're using the national airport as a military base for the United States. And Haiti has natural resources. Oh my God, it's like a freaking mafia that's going on here. Oh my Lord.
Especially for tracking, for missiles, for guidance systems, for radars. We don't have the money, nor do we have the infrastructure to build more planes. They wanted to buy out Spirit Airlines, take over half their fleet, and convert it into military crap. Spirit Airlines said, fuck that and fuck you. So seriously, shout out to Spirit Airlines for not wanting to condone the killing of innocent brown people overseas. That's some real shit.
What? Okay, so what will they do with their plans? I mean, it's just a matter of time. This is why they capture all form of communication. Are the mainstream media talking about things like this? The people probably don't even know things like that is happening. For when they go to vote, okay, to get these people out of office and put some sensible people for the government to work for everybody. Not for just for a few and then for them to operating like that. I mean, the government should not be making deal with a private company to have certain amount of shares or anything like that. Should be like a level playing field. Make sure everybody is operating based on the law. That is the government. So I guess Spirit Airlines is saying, you know what? Let me just stay quiet for now, and then let's see how things go. If anything, I mean, they just want to keep their conscience clear, I think. I think I saw there was a plane that was shut down. I didn't put it on my list, but I scrolled through it. Okay, I don't know if that has any connection to this discussion here. Most likely another airline will buy them. yeah, I guess to have your conscience clear, you might as well do that. But if they go bankrupt, won't the government still be able to buy the plane for even less money now? They will have to sell them to them, which they don't have to do. All right, let's move on. Next tweet. All right, let's pause this. Actress Jenifer Lewis reacts to the U.S. Supreme Court 623 ruling limiting the Voting Rights Act. 6 of you are going to pay. A minute and 37 seconds.
Supreme Court. Supreme Court. 6 of you are going to pay. Because the blood stains on your black robes will never wash away. Your seeds will never harvest. Only shame will trickle down. You'll go down in history, but only for worshiping
The devil?
a clown. Oh, yes. You worship a clown. All that pomp and circumstance. You worship a clown. It will trickle down to your own.
What is it like I usually say about their grandchildren when they doing research? It's the shame that they're gonna. Thomas, what's that black guy in the Supreme Court? Him as well. I don't know. This guy, I don't understand him at all. Anita Weiss did her thing. She warned us. Okay, she didn't notice any more of the Supreme Court decision here recently. They weren't in Trump's favor. Amy Coney Barrett went against Trump in like 4 or 5 cases in the last couple of years. Well, she's talking about the voting right. Right? Yes, and he appointed her. If the court worship any clown, this won't be the case. All right, let's see. There's to comment here. Overturning the illegal tariff was in favor of the wealthy. Trump is gutting the treasury and stuffing his pocket. The wealthy are having none of that. Shut the F up. All right, let's move on. Next tweet. They're just warming through stuff. All right. I like her take on many topic that I've heard her. Black women are heroes. We could have had it all. Kamala. I'm saying Kamala. 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
People keep asking what a country would look like if a black woman ran it. We already know. Because every time a black woman has had real power in this country, she's used it to make it less violent, less corrupt, and more honest. We just don't usually talk about that record. So let's talk about it. Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman ever elected to Congress in 1968, and she served 7 terms. In her first term, they assigned her to the Agriculture Committee because she represented Brooklyn and someone thought it was a joke. She fought that assignment all the way to the Speaker of the House and got reassigned. From there, she went on to become the architect of WIC, the nutrition program that still feeds over 6 million women and infants in this country today.
And guess what? A lot of white people are crying on the internet. They do not have food stamp. Okay? WIC is part of food stamp, the government program.
Today, she led the fight for the 1974 law that extended minimum wage protections to domestic workers for the first time. Then in 1972, she ran for president, first black person from a major party to ever do it. And while she ran, she was blocked from televised debates and had to sue to get into one. She received 3 credible assassination threats, and the Secret Service didn't give her protection until May of that year. Until then, her husband served as her bodyguard. Barbara Lee, September 14th, 2001. 3 days after 9/11, Congress voted on the authorization for use of military force. The House voted 420 to 1. The Senate 98 to 0. That one no vote came from Barbara Lee, Democrat from California, black woman, standing alone on the House floor warning that the authorization was too broad and would become a blank check for endless war. She was called a traitor. She received death threats, got mocked on every news station in the country. By 2019, the Congressional Research Service confirmed that the AUMF that she opposed had been used to justify military force 41 times in 18 different countries. Every president since has used it. She was right, and she was alone. Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams ran for governor of Georgia in 2018 against Brian Kemp. The year before the election, Kemp, who just so happened to be the sitting Secretary of State overseeing the very election that he was running in, purged nearly 670,000 voters from the rolls in a single year and held up another 53,000 voter registrations under a new exact match law. Nearly 70% of those registrations belonged to Black voters. She lost by about 55,000 votes. She refused to concede, but instead of disappearing, she built something. She started Fair Fight, and over the next 2 years, her coalition registered more than 800,000 new voters in Georgia, mostly in communities that had never been organized before. In 2020, Georgia went blue in the presidential election for the first time since 1992. Then it flipped both Senate seats in the runoff. Ossoff and Warnock, we know them. One woman, 2 years, rebuilt the electorate of an entire state. 3 women, 3 different eras, fed hungry children, tried to stop a forever war, rebuilt an entire state. That is the record. Now look at the men who have run this country for 250 years. And tell me, who actually has the record of serving it?
This is why I like her content. And I have said this, the internet can have a lot of misinformation, negative things and whatnot. But many content creators, especially Black content creators, they use it for good. You have to shuffle through the barrage of stupidity on the internet before you could see them. All right. So if I was on TikTok, this is someone to follow. I don't know her name. All right. So there's all of that. I just want to focus on the videos because there's a lot to share with you. All right. Next tweet. All right, so there's this here. Obama had an agreement with Iran not to produce nuclear weapons, and Trump refused to honor it. Now look at us. All right, 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Reportedly, America blocked Iran's ports. Iran found another way out. Iran activated its rail route to China through Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. The sea takes 40 days. The train takes 15. The U.S. Navy cannot stop a train. America's blockade just became less effective. While America was blocking the sea, the UAE made a historic decision. For the first time in over 60 years, the UAE reportedly left OPEC. The reason is simple. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. No oil exports mean no money. The UAE cannot wait for America and Iran to finish their dispute. The UAE is now free to sell oil to whoever it wants at whatever price. The UAE was 15% of OPEC's capacity, and now that is gone. The oil market is more unstable than it has been in decades, and here is what no one is saying. If the UAE sells oil in Chinese yuan instead of US dollars, that could challenge the petrodollar system America has relied on since 1974. The petrodollar is under serious threat. What happens next? Tell me below.
Okay, another good information. Let's go to the next tweet. I didn't read the comments, okay? Next one. We are in 1938 Germany, and far too many Americans are in denial. All right, 1 minute and 2 seconds.
We have some serious news right now. ICE has contracted a firm that has been accused of torture to track down undocumented children in the United States of America under the guise of, quote, wellness checks in a, quote, boots-on-the-ground operation. In this major new exclusive from The Guardian, ICE has now contracted this company as of April. In the past, this company has been accused of torture and enforced disappearance, and the contract is meant to have this firm assist in tracking down undocumented children living alone in the United States to put, quote, boots on the ground and locate immigrant children previously released from U.S. custody. The agency is characterizing the work as conducting, quote, safety and wellness checks for these children. Now, this company, it's called MVM Inc., had been previously sued for alleged, quote, torture, enforced disappearance, and cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment.
These people are evil.
That lawsuit is ongoing. The company denies the allegations. People need to know what's happening, so spread the word. Go read the full Guardian report. Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
There's so many things is going on. So many things is going on. How do you keep up with all of these? Each time you think you're done with one issue, they create another issue. It's unbelievable. God help us. This is the gate of hell that has been unleashed since that election. Okay? These people do not know any wellness at all. Peace, prosperity. All they know is to put fear on people. They refuse to let people live in peace. Next tweet. Unbelievable. All right, next one. All right, let's pause this. The White A House. What is it? The White A House? Okay, the White House was trying. I think the A should not be there. Okay, the White House was trying to figure out who was leaking confidential information about ICE, and it ended up being a grassroots movement of women that will have honeypot ICE agent on Tinder, and they would tell them everything. Oh my God, a minute and 2 seconds. Let's listen.
The Trump administration spent months trying to figure out who was leaking sensitive ICE operational details out of Minneapolis. Turns out it was a grassroots movement of local women honey trapping ICE agents on Tinder into revealing everything. According to a thread by writer Will Stansel, the 3,000 agents deployed for Operation Metro Surge could not stop bragging on dating apps. Local women matched with him, played along, and watched the agents volunteer the goods. Live video of raids, the hotels they were staying in, addresses, schedules, whatever the agents thought might impress the woman on the other end of the chat. When an agent's cover was eventually blown, some of the women forwarded the message histories to the agents' wives. This is the federal enforcement arm conducting masked, warrantless arrests and shipping people to foreign prisons. Their operational security was defeated by women with phones. The administration spent its leak hunt looking for a whistleblower or a mole. It was neither. It was the agents themselves handing out raid plans to strangers in exchange for attention.
Sad, but still. Let's go to the next tweet. I don't even want to go in the comments. Oh my Lord. This is going to go in the history book. Next tweet. Did you know that the Black Panther Party built business in the United States, undermined them, the U.S. government sabotaged them?
Did you know the Black Panthers built an entire economic system that the government worked overtime to destroy? While most people only know about their free breakfast program, the Panthers created something much bigger in Oakland during the 60s and 70s. They opened cooperative grocery stores that cut food costs by 40% through bulk buying. They started community-controlled banks and lending circles that funded Black businesses when mainstream banks said no. They built free health clinics paid for through group economics, not government handouts. This was their survival pending revolution strategy. Pool resources, create jobs, build ownership together. 10 families would combine money to buy land. 20 people would fund a business. The whole community would circulate dollars among Black-owned stores and services. The government infiltrated these programs, spread lies, and shut them down because they worked too well. The Panthers proved that when Black people organize their money with purpose, they can create real economic power. Their blueprint still works today. The question is, will we learn from their success and build together, or keep struggling alone while our dollars strengthen everyone else's community but our own?
All right. So many of their ideas the government have taken it as their blueprint, and then Trump come and destroy it. All right. So the mainstream media is not telling them that, is not reporting on things like that. Obviously they don't, because they don't want people to survive. And then many of the white people are the one who's beneficial from those governmental things. All right, I have one more after this. Breaking Epstein news for the 83rd consecutive time. 60 Minutes Australia puts our mainstream media to shame. They won't let the Epstein file die, neither will we. All right, 44 seconds.
A man actually claims that he met Jeffrey Epstein, was brought to the ranch, he was drugged, and he describes in detail a scene in which multiple young men were raped at the ranch in front of him after he was drugged.
You hear about Jeffrey Epstein's penchant for for minors and for young women, but not men. We haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were serial abusers. So they really were super predators, and it's clear that this was just how they lived their lives.
So that's that. And each time the black community tried to do something good, they shut it down. Well, I don't know what else can people do for people to see what's going on. I really don't know. Because right now, even though mainstream media is not reporting on it, but almost everybody have a phone to look at things. Important information. All right, this is the next tweet. This one should have been for Haiti's video, but let's put it here. For years, Danny Glover has tried to make a movie on the Haitian Revolution, and it's been rejected by Hollywood. Why? Because any stories that challenges the white narrative on slavery, reparations, socialism, and the United States imperialism are seen as an attack on whiteness. Okay? Pad detective. Screenshot, all right?
For over 20 years, actor Danny Glover tried desperately to get a movie about the Haitian Revolution made in Hollywood. He went to every major studio. He went to studios in Europe, and he was denied funding at every turn. And the reason they gave was that there were no white heroes in the story, so they weren't going to make it. This unspoken mandate that every big-budget movie made for a general audience must have at least one sympathetic white character for white audiences to identify with has been around forever, since the beginning of Hollywood. When I think about movies like Green Book, you've got The Help, 12 Years a Slave, Amistad. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even Black Panther has this character who is a CIA agent but is in favor of black liberation. Like, ridiculous. I really enjoyed Hidden Figures. I think it's a great movie, but this guy, played by Kevin Costner, he never existed. They made him up for the movie. Everybody else is based on a real person, but not him. So that whole scene where he goes and smashes the sign, the white-only sign on the bathroom, never happened.
We made it up. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer.
It's all there to make white people like me feel slightly better about the history of racism in this country. We can sort of self-insert and we can go, oh, I would have done that too.
No more white restrooms.
There's a cardinal rule in any system that is white identified, and that is that you are never allowed to make white people feel uncomfortable in relation to their own whiteness. That is not allowed. I think it was James Baldwin who once said that being white means never having to think about it. And in Hollywood, if you make a movie about black liberation that doesn't include a sympathetic white character, it might make white audiences feel a little bit uncomfortable about their whiteness. They might leave the theater having to self-reflect on our own history in this country.
Can't we just, for one night, just all be family?
It's incredibly, shockingly rare to have a movie that is made for a general audience that's about race or racism, but doesn't include a sympathetic white character. And that's one of the reasons why Sinners was such a big deal. There's no sympathetic white hero in this movie at all, and yet it did really well. But you can count on your hands, like the number of movies that do that. You've got Get Out, Moonlight, Sorry to Bother You. I mean, there are very, very few. And the truth is that being made to feel uncomfortable in relation to white supremacy is a really important thing for white folks like me. Like, being made to feel uncomfortable is a critical step in learning how to challenge those systems, how to become anti-racist. It's a story for another day, but I will personally be eternally grateful for all the folks in my life who dared to make me feel uncomfortable. It wasn't their job, but they showed incredible grace and patience, and I'm a better person today because I was made to feel uncomfortable back then. So we need more movies that make white people feel uncomfortable in relation to their own whiteness. Not just one about the Haitian Revolution, which we definitely need. We also need movies about other forms of black liberation, other forms of indigenous liberation, and none of them need to have sympathetic white characters.
Yeah, he has a point. And this is what's happening here. They're putting them in a comfortable position while they're moving forward blindly, not knowing, all right, the bad actors. All right, I'm not talking about movie actors. I'm talking like the Epstein, the Trumps, who's doing things to children, while the others are moving forward in La La Land, thinking everything is hunky-dory. Meanwhile, they're abusing your children. They're doing all sorts of things to their wives, children, and pets, being barbaric. Meanwhile, they're pointing fingers at black people, but yet they're making it seems like the grass is so greener for their kind, making them feel comfortable. At the same time, when they need to abuse them, the bad actors will just grab them. They won't know any difference. I don't know if I make sense with that. But anyway, that's all that I have for this video. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that's it. I think I'm done for recording today. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally,